All right, thanks, guys. Happy Wednesday to you. Let's go ahead and dive into some college basketball. Got a couple good games tonight, including one banger, which we are going to absolutely cover. Well, let's go ahead and start off with Villanova at Georgetown. That's going to be a 6:30 Eastern tip-off at Georgetown. Now, the Wildcats of Nova open the betting as the 5-point favorite. Total open 151. And since that one opened up, we're seeing steady money on Villanova in the early going here. We're also seeing steady movement downward on the total as well. Right now, we're looking at Villanova -6, with the total moving downward to 149.5. So once again, Villanova open -5 up to -6. Total open 151 down to 149 and a hook. 65% are leaning Villanova, 56% are shaded toward the under. Now, if you like Nova on the road here, just keep in mind they're going through a little bit of a rough stretch in their last trio of games, just 1 and 2 straight up in their last 3. Now, they are taking on a Georgetown team who ranks 15th in home offensive rebound. They also rank 22nd in home scoring at 85 points per contest. So Georgetown certainly getting the job done on their home court when it comes to the offensive side of things. Now, when it comes to the offense, they are led by Jesse Govan, who's dropping 15 points per contest. They're also led by Josh LeBlanc, who's bringing down 7 boards per game as well. Now, Villanova, they failed to cover in 3 out of their last 6 that tipped off at the current number. The Wildcats are also ranking 190th in home offensive rebounding and 119th in defensive field goal percentage. Now, when it comes to the total, we're looking at a Georgetown team who is 86% to the over, taking on teams averaging more than 72 points per contest. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward the home dog in this one. Give me Georgetown +6 in the over 149.5 in that matchup there. Before I go ahead and move on, I just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Wednesday's college basketball action. Happy Wednesday to you. It's hump day. The weekend is almost here. It's right around the corner. But anyway, before we go ahead and move on, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 69% for my last 16 NBA plays, you're certainly going to want to be around come Thursday when the NBA starts right back up after the All-Star break. So once again, please feel free to check me out there. Memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well, including my current record and other categories as well. So please feel free to just go ahead and hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take a couple of seconds. The link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you are watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And with all that said and done, let's go ahead and hop right back into some more lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Louisville at Syracuse, 7 o'clock tip-off in upstate New York. Syracuse opened the betting. Actually, this one opened up as a pick'em contest, a coin flip, with a total at 134. And since this one opened up, we've seen Syracuse take a little bit of money in the early going here. We're also seeing movement toward the under when it comes to the total as well. Right now, the Orange are -1.5. Total move down to 133 and a hook. So once again, I got Syracuse opening up as a pick, up to -1.5. Total open 134, down to 133 and a hook. 57% are leaning Syracuse, 53% shaded toward the over. Now, Syracuse ranks 11th in home points allowed. They're allowing just 59 points per contest on their home court. They also rank 20th in defensive field goal percentage. Their opponents are shooting just 39% from the field when taking on the Orange. Now, Syracuse is 17-8 straight up overall for the year, 12-4 straight up on their home court, and they're led by Tyus Battle, who's dropping 16 points per contest. Now, Louisville, on their side of things, they're covering just 40% of their games that tipped off at the current point spread. They also rank 100th in the nation in defensive rebounding. The Louisville Cardinals have dropped 5 out of their last 10 away from home as well. Now, when it comes to scoring, Louisville is 67% to the over on the road, taking on teams allowing less than 67 points per contest. So with all that in mind, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take Syracuse -1 in the over 133.5 in that matchup there. All right, next game. This is the one everybody's watching. Everybody's got eyes on. Actually, this one has been circled on a lot of calendars for the past couple of weeks. But I'm talking about UNC at the Duke Blue Devils, 9 o'clock tip-off at Cameron Indoor. Duke opened the betting as the 9.5-point favorite. Total open at 166. And since the markets opened that one up, we're actually seeing a steady and consistent fade of Duke when it comes to the spread. No real surprises here as that number opened up curiously high. So once again, we're seeing a slight fade of Duke in the early going here. We're also seeing movement toward the under on the total. That number moved to 165.5. Spread moved down to 8.5. So once again, Duke opened 9.5 down to -8.5. Total open 166 down to 165 and a hook. 52% of the consensus is leaning toward North Carolina. 51% is shaded toward the under. Now, if you like Duke in this matchup here, really can't blame you. They're 23-2 straight up overall for the year, 15-10 against the spread in that same category. Duke ranks 4th in the nation in scoring and 1st in the country in home offensive rebounding. Now, obviously, they're led by R.J. Barrett, who's dropping 23 points per contest. And, of course, you can't forget about Zion Williamson, who's scoring 22 points per game and bringing down 8 rebounds per contest as well. Now, UNC on their side of things, they failed to cover in 2 out of their last 3. They also rank 178th in points allowed in the country. So really not too sound on the defensive side of things. That could mean trouble for them taking on this Duke team who has 2 players averaging over 20 points per contest on that roster. Now, total-wise, Duke is just 4-10 to the over in their games at home, 5-18 to the over when the line was more than 145. So a lot of unders for Duke this year. I think we'll see some more of the same tonight. I'm also going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take the Duke Blue Devils -8 in the under 165.5 in that matchup there. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be Butler at Marquette, 9 o'clock tip-off at Marquette. Marquette opened the betting as the 6.5-point favorite, total at 144.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're actually seeing a slight fade of Marquette when it comes to the spread, a half-a-point fade of Marquette when it comes to that number there. We're also seeing movement to the over when it comes to the total points in this one. Right now, total points are at 145, spreads at -6. So once again, Marquette open 6.5 down to -6. Total open 144.5 up to 145. 68% are leaning Marquette, 62% shaded toward the under. Now, if you like Marquette in this matchup here, they rank 7th in the country in shooting the 3-ball. They also rank 8th in home defensive field goal percentage. Their opponents are shooting just 37% from the field in Marquette. Now, Marquette's led by Marcus Howard, who's dropping 24 points per contest. They're also 8-1 against the spread, taking on teams between 500 and 650. So once again, with going up against a team with a win percentage between 500 and 650, Marquette's 8-1 against the spread. Just a couple more numbers here for Marquette. They're 14-6 against the spread when laying the points. They're also covering 75% of their games, taking on teams allowing 67 to 72 points per contest. Now, on the Butler side of things, the Bulldogs are covering just 28% of their games, taking on teams allowing 67 to 72 points per contest themselves. They've also dropped 6 out of their last 8 on the road. Now, when it comes to the total, Marquette is 9-3 to the under, taking on teams averaging more than 72 points per contest. Got to make a bit of a chalky play here. All that said and done, give me Marquette -6 and the under 145 in that matchup there. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, I just want to quickly remind you, once again, to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage with a documented win percentage of 69% in my last 16 NBA plays. You're certainly going to want to be on board by Thursday, which is tomorrow, as the NBA starts right back up from the All-Star break. But anyway, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month on that website. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So you actually don't need to buy anything. But if you want to check out any type of content there. But anyway, please feel free to just finish this video or hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser and just quickly check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a couple of seconds. The link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you are watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And most importantly, thank you for watching today's program. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free information. And as always, don't forget to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage.